Hey, coaches, Mark Molinar here with Coach Tactics. Really excited to get to show you here how to design our script sheet. Previous video, we talked about assigning scripts underneath the weekly game plan. And we talked about on a Monday, we created actually 3. I added another one, 4 scripts underneath assigned scripts. And now we're going to get into there and we're going to assign these scripts, these assigned scripts, and put them on the script sheet, which is designing the script sheet. You can get to design script sheet from assigned scripts, just as we were previously, or from the weekly game plan. If you've already had them done, maybe you did them on a Sunday or a previous day or another coach did them, and you click on the day of the practice, you can go right to the script sheet. There's a lot going on in here. So I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. The first part's just going to be setting up what we call our tiles, okay? And then we're going to get to these settings in here as well. Over here on the right-hand side, we can do some color banding. So this is just setting the color that you'd like to have. So we're typically a little bit more of a blue school. So I'm going to set this to more of a bluer color for us. And I'm going to hit apply. And then once you save your color, you'll see here is when I get ready to go add a tile, the color banding and the color header will come on there. Always save. And once your settings are saved, it will save that color. If I was to change this to like maybe more of like a red, okay, and then apply, and I click save, that setting will always be saved there. All right, in the middle here, we have our layout settings. This can be a little bit much your first time as you're starting to go through it, but we have created some presets for you. You can see here there's 3, 4, and 5, and 6 landscape settings, and these are what we call 3, 4, 5, and 6 tile settings, where we're going to actually put our practice scripts in there. So most everybody uses a certain amount pretty consistently on a day. You know, maybe a Tuesday you might have 4, a Monday you might have 3. Once you kind of go through these and you select, we're going to do 4 portrait for the one we're doing here. There will be a little bit of a description on what you want to do here. So you can get 56 total plays. We're going to scale this to 70% when we get to the printing. Your tile row space span is going to be 4. Your column span is going to be 10. That is different than the row properties here. That is actually what the tile is going to be. And then I left you a note here that says the bottom tile row will be a span of 7. Here in the middle, we have our sheet properties. These are automatically going to be set for you. You can adjust them. The width is really not the width of the paper. It's about how much width you want to have for your tile, okay? We have our columns. I'm going to go ahead and add a column here just so you can start to see this. And you can see that it is now red. As I'm pulling my column out, you'll see that I'm 4 wide, 5 wide, and I have a total of 10 columns. So if I was to add even this another tile next to that, that gives me enough room for a total of 10 columns. So that's what column width is. If you're just going to do all in a row, then you would push this all the way to the edge here, and then you would get a column of 10 that pushes the next tile down. So that's what column spacing is, our columns is. Our column spacing, and I'm going to bring this back to 5 just so you guys can see this, and I'm going to go ahead and type in 5. That will bring that tile to the spot, is the tile spacing is this area in between. So we have row spacing and then column spacing. As I'm adjusting this, the spacing is getting a little bit bigger, okay? And if I bring it back there to where we were at before, it's going to get a little bit smaller, okay? If you choose a setting and it adjusts things, and you don't like the spacing, you wanted to adjust something in here, okay? Those are just presets. I saved this to 7 and 7. You can save that preset, and then it will save inside here. The next time you load that, you will have overridden. If I go back to landscape 5 and I click on load, it will bring back your settings, okay? So you can save over our settings, or you can just use load the presets. Let's get into how the tiles work. Remember, we said that we were going to use the portrait for script, which tells us that this is 10 across. I'm going to go ahead and pull these 10 across here, and I'm going to pull this one 10 across. We're going to start with inside run. We're going to go to 7 on 7. I'm going to add team, and then I'm going to add low red as well. And those we're adding below there, we just didn't see it. As I slide my mouse down, we'll start to see that, and I guess team did not load. and I will load that one as well. And then there is team. Okay, before I go too much farther, I'm going to go ahead and save this script sheet. Let's click on save, and that's saving. You can turn auto save on so it saves every 30 seconds. That's kind of a personal preference. I happen to like it like that. All right, let's get into the actual tile here. We learned that we can adjust the tiles by grabbing from the corner and adjusting them out. You'll see that as I go here, a little gray line is appearing there to tell you where the next column is. We are choosing to be 10 wide. Inside the column, we have this auto fit contents. So this is kind of a nice feature. It kind of fits things nice and tight. I like to hit this right away and then go and readjust my column widths after I'm done. You'll see that the autosave is hitting. I've got down and distance here, defense and coverage. You'll see just by hovering over the gray line, you get a little bit of space here, and then I've got my notes. Let's talk about these. Earlier when we were setting up our practice scripts, we had custom notes. You can remember that we had a down and distance, so I can set any of these down and distances to be set 2nd and 4. Maybe I had a 3rd and long. Okay, and then the nice thing about these custom distances or custom note columns is if I was to type in 3rd and 17, it will automatically add that to our data. So you'll see that 3rd and 17 has been added there. Okay, defense and coverage, these are preset. We're going against a 4-3 this week, so I could start to add my defenses again. Remember, we're trying to limit as much typing as possible. So on a Sunday night, if you went to your custom notes and put these settings in, you can grab those defenses if you'd like. Some of you guys have exotic blitzes and you want to use a scout card. So I used my 3rd custom setting was a scout card. So on that one, let's use card 1. Let's just in here, we'll use card 2. And then maybe down here, I'm going to type in card 3. And we know that that will automatically get added after I press enter. And then card 3 will appear down here as well. All right, we have our tiles here. If I needed a few more plays, I can add a row span. You'll see there that made it for 13. Okay, and I realized that I didn't want play 9 in here, so I'm going to press the minus button, and that will remove the play. If I did not like play 12, I can remove the play as well. I wanted to go back and add a couple plays to this, so I'm going to make sure I click on the tile header and then click on Open Playbook. My playbook will open. Okay, this here can't really adjust the columns, but you can adjust the width and you can do your filtering. If I was looking for a certain concept here, or I was going underneath my situations and I wanted to get 3-3 runs and click filter, I've not filtered down to 39 items. And then I really wanted to look for a duo play. I can click on filter there, and I don't have any duos for that one. So we'll just go ahead and go to find power. I can select multiple because this is a multi-selectable area. Click on filter, and I'd like to add these 2 plays to that tile. If you place your eyes right here, you'll see that those plays will be added. I already had one in there, and therefore it skipped one of the plays, which is a nice feature. We won't allow you to add the same play twice. So now I've added it to 12. I'm going to bring my row span back to 4. See if that fits in there, and it actually fits perfect in there. So these are the basics of setting up your tiles. We've got just a couple other features in here. Let's just say that we wanted to replace this tile in here. We have adding a tile. Okay, we can replace a tile, or we can search for plays inside a tile. In my 7-on-7 here, I'm going to expand this out to 5, and I'm just going to go back. I had some 3rd downs I wanted to use before. And so I'm going to click on this tile and go to my previous practices from the summer. I had something called summer 3rd downs. I am on the 7-on-7 here, and I can replace the total contents of this tile with this data. It's really, really powerful. So now all that 7-on-7 is going to be leaving. This is something I did in the summer for a 3rd down. It even renamed the tile summer 3rd downs as well. If I wanted to bring that back, I can replace the contents of my weeks folder there by just clicking on 7-on-7, and it replaces it as well. So really powerful. Our tiles can stay in the original state. We can grab something from our previous practice scripts. We can go to our base call sheets. If you wanted to have something in there, maybe for a Thursday practice, I can go to all of my past scripts that I had during the summer or against other teams, okay, and even pull things from past call sheets. The last feature that we have here is searching. So let's just say here for our 7-on-7, for our low red zone, I wanted to go look at a previous one. I need to click on the tile. So it tells me I am in the low red. You can see right here, it says low red. I'm going to go into my summer goal line and click on search. I'm looking for a couple plays. This is going to bring up my previous summer low red plays that I used over the summer. I'm going to add this play to the tile, and I'm going to add that play to the tile. If you recall, I had, I believe, 7 tiles in there, 7 plays in there. I've added 9. So really nice feature being able to add plays from previous scripts and using the search button. So adding a tile, replacing a whole tile contents, or searching a previous script that you had before and adding plays from there. Quite a bit more to learn as far as printing goes. Again, you're going to adjust these as you would like. We do have templates that you can make, but this is just the basics of creating tiles and putting them in a printing format, saving your areas, saving your banding. I can turn banding on and off. I suggest that you leave it on, and then saving your script sheet. And if I needed to load one that I did previously, I can click on here, a different one that I had as a test. And this will bring up something I did before. We can go from there. Just going back to load, going back to Westfield Monday 8-4, and you'll see the sheet that I was working on just a second ago. And there we go. All right. Looking forward to working with you on part 2 here. Hopefully you enjoyed creating tiles and setting tiles up, getting ready to print.